First Alert Weather, sponsored by Med Center Health.
And we are taking a live look out in Russellville. The sun is starting to come up. Thankfully, no dense fog here, but we are dealing with that at least for a few areas throughout south central Kentucky. As we get into our weather headlines for this morning, still dealing with some areas of fog that should, though, start to mix out once we get that sun to come up and start to heat things up. It will allow the fog to actually mix out of the area. Relatively dry pattern over the next couple of days, but then that does change as we start to pivot into portions of next weekend. As we look at temperatures out there right now, many of us right around 60 degrees, 63 in Hodgenville, 64 in Campbellsville, 59 over into portions of Greenville, and still dealing with some of that patchy dense fog. You can see here throughout south central Kentucky, really contained to the I-65 corridor extending from E-Town down through portions of Hart, even through Edmondson, Warren, and then down into Allen County. Visibility is down to a half mile or less. As we look at Doppler Max, relatively quiet for us, but we have to look a little bit further out to see even any nearby rain, and we're really only seeing some showers down into portions of Alabama and then another thunderstorm complex down into portions of Texas. For us, though, we do look to stay quiet for today, and that will be the case especially as we head into the next couple of days. Still dealing with that fog as we time things out here with Future Max. You can see the corridor of fog here, reduced visibilities there, but then as we said, it will start to mix out once we get later on into the morning, closer towards the lunchtime hour. Looking at mostly sunny skies, maybe a few isolated sprinkles, but I think that's just trying to pick up on some of the humidity that will be out there later on today. Once we turn into Wednesday, still looking to be rather nice. We have mostly clear skies to start things off, and that sunshine will be out in full force for us on Wednesday, especially once we get into the evening hours. Then once we go into Thursday, we start to have some of those clouds start to build in, maybe an isolated sprinkle possible during the evening hours, but we'll start to see those rain chances really start to increase once we head into this coming weekend. Temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days do look to have us above average for us. Our average high is 86 degrees, but really warm really for much of the U.S., and we will be jumping in on some of that as temperatures start to increase, getting us a little bit closer towards that 90-degree mark once we get into Thursday and then into Friday. Friday is when we start to see some thunderstorms that will push in, and that will last through much of this coming weekend. Now, we aren't looking at much of a severe threat, thankfully, but I think some moderate to heavy rainfall certainly does look quite likely, especially if you have any Father's Day plans or had any plans to be outdoors. You may want to consider just having a backup plan so you can move indoors if needed. But temperatures still look to stay into the middle 80s for Sunday into